The wreckage of the Kothari Dominion's fleet drifted silently in the void. Hundreds of massive warships, their hulls rent apart as if by some unseen force, floated lifelessly around the charred remains of Zephos 9, a planet that had once been teeming with life. There were no distress signals, no survivors, only silence. Xylan of the Varak conclave had seen battlefields before, but never like this. His species had warred for centuries, yet what lay before him now was no war, it was eradication. His 6 eyes scanned the debris field, his tendrils twitching with unease. "Scanners, report." A moment later, his ship's AI core, Vial 17, responded, its voice clipped and professional. No signs of life, no energy signatures remaining. Whatever did this has long since departed. Xylan exhaled. The Kothari were one of the most powerful military forces in the known galaxy. Their technology rivaled that of the great Eldrin warlords, and their fleets were legendary in both strength and brutality, yet here they were annihilated without a single distress call. "What do the records say about this system?" Xylan asked, his appendages tapping anxiously against the control panel. Vial 17 processed the request. System designation: Soldo, primary inhabited world, Earth, known to house a pre-FTL species classified as humanity. No known military or interstellar capabilities. Previously marked as low threat. Xylan froze. Humans? That was impossible. The Kothari could raise planets with impunity. How could a pre-FTL species cause this level of destruction? His second-in-command, Warlike, a tall and wiry Skoran, studied the wreckage with narrowed eyes. This wasn't just a battle. The destruction patterns suggest something primal, almost chaotic. Xylan's mind raced. If this had been another galactic force, there would have been tactical precision, a strategy. But this was different. Total annihilation, complete and ruthless. Vial 17. Check the databanks. Were there any messages left behind? A long pause. Then, a single corrupted data packet flickered onto the main console. A final Kothari transmission. The screen crackled with static before stabilizing. A battered and bloodied Kothari warlord appeared, his exoskeleton shattered, his mandibles trembling in fear. He looked as though he had seen a god or a demon. His voice was ragged, filled with terror. "Do not approach Sul. Do not provoke the humans. We thought them weak. We thought them prey." A horrific screech in the background, something inhuman. The warlord's eyes widened further. "They are not prey. They are something else, something that should not exist." The transmission cut out. A heavy silence fell upon the bridge of Xylan's ship. No one spoke. No one moved. The implications were terrifying. Warlike finally broke the silence. "Orders, Commander?" Xylan took a deep breath. His people had always believed that knowledge was power, but sometimes knowledge was a warning. He stared at the lifeless husks of the Kothari fleet one last time before giving his order. "We leave, now!" As the ship turned, Xylan stole a final glance at the silent graveyard that had once been a battlefield. Something had shattered the Kothari dominion here, and whatever it was still out there, watching, waiting, guarding. Xylan could not shake the unease that had settled deep within his mind. As the Vara conclave vessel, Celestial Veil, drifted away from the ruined Kothari fleet, a gnawing sense of impending doom clung to him like a parasite. The moment they had entered hyperspace, he ordered Vial 17 to lock down all communications. He didn't want even the slightest risk that someone else would intercept what they had just witnessed. The galactic order depended on predictability, on the known strengths and weaknesses of every species in existence. But this defied every known law of warfare. Warlike approached him cautiously. "Commander, we need to report this to the High Conclave." Zelan turned, his secondary eyes narrowing. "And what will we tell them, Warlike?" "That a primitive species destroyed one of the most advanced war fleets in history. That an entire Dominion force was eradicated by beings who haven't even mastered interstellar travel." Warlike hesitated. "We cannot ignore this." Zelan exhaled. "Number we cannot." He gestured to the bridge. "Vial 17, cross-reference all known data on Sol 3. I want to know everything." The AI hummed, processing. "Compiling information now, Commander." A holographic projection flickered to life. Data streams, planetary analysis, species biological records, all of it was standard. But something wasn't right. "There is an anomaly," Vial 17 stated. "Several galactic forces have probed Sol 3 over the past 1,000 cycles, yet none have established a foothold. The records show multiple failed incursions, each attributed to unforeseen resistance or mysterious countermeasures." Zelan's eyes darkened. "Unforeseen resistance from a species with no known orbital defenses." Warlike ran a clawed hand down his mandibles. "Commander, I think we need to see it for ourselves." The bridge fell silent. For the first time in his career, Zelan wondered if knowledge was not a weapon but a curse, and if Sol 3 was the harbinger of something far worse than war. The celestial veil emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system, its sensors immediately sweeping across the planetary bodies. Zelan sat rigid in his command chair, his tendrils twitching with anticipation. Warlike stood beside him, mandibles clicking in quiet apprehension. "Status report," Zelan ordered. Vial 17 responded promptly. "All systems functioning within expected parameters. No detected hostilities or unusual anomalies." Zelan leaned forward. "Bring Earth into focus." A holographic display flickered to life, showing the blue-green planet in stunning clarity. It was unassuming, deceptively peaceful. Nothing about it suggested that it had the capacity to wipe out the Cathari fleet. Yet, the wreckage spoke for itself. "Are there any signs of advanced defense systems?" Warlike inquired. Vial 17 paused. "None that are immediately detectable. However, deep space monitoring suggests a vast and inconsistent energy fluctuation across the planet's surface. Possible artificial sources." Zelan narrowed his eyes. "Explain." "Unlike conventional planetary defenses," Vial 17 continued, "these fluctuations do not conform to any known energy grid patterns. They are erratic, appearing and disappearing at irregular intervals." Warlike folded his arms. "Then it's something we've never seen before." Zelan exhaled, a sense of inevitability weighing on him. The Cathari's final transmission replayed in his mind. "Do not provoke the humans." "We need to see more," he muttered. "Vial 17, deploy a stealth probe. I want a direct scan of the surface." The AI complied, launching the probe into the void. Minutes stretched into an eternity as it descended toward Earth, slipping past the planet's outer atmosphere. Then the ship's alarms blared. "Commander!" Vial 17's voice was sharper than ever before. "We have a problem." Zelan's heart pounded. "What is it?" "The probe? It's gone." The bridge fell silent. Warlike's mandibles clenched. "Destroyed?" "No," Vial 17 answered. "Erased. One moment it was there, the next it ceased to exist." Zelan felt a cold dread seep into his bones. He had come seeking answers, but now he feared he had found a warning. Zelan gripped the arms of his command chair as the bridge remained deathly silent. The weight of what had just occurred pressed down on the entire crew. The probe, an advanced, nearly undetectable piece of technology, had simply vanished, not destroyed, not jammed, just erased. Vial 17, Xylan finally managed, his voice steady but tense. Replay the final telemetry from the probe. A shimmering projection flickered into existence above the bridge's central console. It showed the probe's descent through Earth's outer atmosphere, stabilizing as it engaged deep scans of the planet. The analysis was routine, capturing vast city networks, industrial zones, and regions of concentrated human activity. Then, the feed glitched. For a fraction of a second, the image warped, jagged static, consuming the visuals before everything went black. "No explosion, no impact," Warlike muttered. "Something interfered at a fundamental level." Vial 17's synthetic voice broke the silence. "I've identified an energy signature at the moment of the probe's disappearance. The frequency does not match any known technological or natural phenomenon." Xylan turned sharply. "Show me." The screen displayed a strange waveform, pulsing erratically. At first glance it seemed nonsensical, but as the AI overlaid it with archived data, patterns emerged, patterns eerily similar to neural activity, Vial 17 concluded. "This signal is biological." Xylan's breath hitched. "Are you saying a living entity destroyed the probe?" The AI hesitated. "No, Commander. I am saying a living entity observed the probe, and by merely perceiving it, the probe ceased to exist." The implications were terrifying. This was not conventional technology. This was not warfare. This was something beyond the realm of scientific understanding. Warlike's mandibles twitched. "Commander, we need to leave. If the humans, or whatever dwells among them, can do this, then we are meddling with forces beyond our comprehension." Xylan clenched his fists. He wanted answers. He wanted to understand. But the message was clear. "We see you." "We're done here," he said finally. "Vial 17, plot a course out of the Sol system now." As the celestial veil turned away, Xylan took one last look at the unassuming blue planet. There were no weapons arrays, no fleets, no defense platforms, and yet it was the most dangerous place in the galaxy.